Hi, and welcome to Real World News Radio. I'm Toni Breedlove, and I am sitting in for the beautiful and lovely Miss Chara and Tappin, who can't be with us tonight, but Reggie has allowed me to sit in with him, which I just finished telling him is a crapshoot, because you never know what I'm going to say. Okay. But what I'd love to do is be able to welcome each one of you to join the show. And that means that you can comment during the show. We will put your comments up and we will respond to them. But tonight's show is going to be hitting on all of those hot buttons, all of the hot buttons of today's news, covering the Gold Star controversy, the NFL and that national anthem that we so love, as well as the FBI, who is trolling Black civil rights. So I'm really hoping that you will enjoy the show. Really enjoy the show. And again, we welcome your comments. No more phones. No more phones. Yay. So without further ado, I am bringing in Mr. Reggie Kearney.
Hey, good evening, everyone. How you doing, Toni?
I'm doing good. I'm excited that you would allow me to be a part of the show, because you never know what you're going to get with me. So I'm pretty pleased.
Yeah, I know you'll be calm. You won't say a whole lot.
I hope not. But we are missing Chara Ann tonight, and we hope that she'll be back with us next week. I know that she was having some issues technically, so we were trying to get all of that straight, and they've allowed me to sit in. Reggie, tonight is one of those shows that, of course, I love sitting on. However, again, you never know what I'm going to get. How do you want to start this out? Because there's so much going on in the news.
Well, I know where I want to start at. Okay, let's go to Puerto Rico real quick.
Oh, boy.
Today, they passed a bill where a contract was given to a company out of the Midwest. I want to say it was Minnesota. It's wherever the Department of Energy Secretary is from. The company was given a humongous contract for I believe it was $20 million. I'm going to look it up real quick. But the company only had 2 employees, only been in business for 2 years. The secretary said it did not smack of any improprieties, but something is wrong when you take a 2-man company with no history of doing anything like that type of work, and you get them a large contract, large government contract to go down to Puerto Rico and do the electrical, get the electrical grid put back together. Now, they have hired 300 people, probably 300 of the employees of the electrical company that was there in Puerto Rico, in San Juan, to get the work done. But it just shows how this administration is corrupt to the extent where they're going to look out for their friends. I mean, the electric company is from the state in which the secretary is from, so cronyism, just reeks up that, for a company to get that, so I thought that was one of the things that kind of, stuck out today, along with the other Republicans that are jumping ship in the Senate right now.
You know what? And I think that we had addressed a little bit about the Puerto Rico situation. Was this a couple of weeks ago or last week? It was last week. I think we had addressed it.
Yeah, we talked about
that. But you know what? I just have this huge problem with is that it's if this was a island which was predominantly white,
right,
there would be no hesitation. And I can't seem to wrap my head around the fact that I don't believe that a lot of other people are realizing that. I can't wrap my head around it. But the problem I see is that, we talk about all of this money that they're designating for the relief efforts and the cleanup of Puerto Rico.
Right.
But will it ever be enough? Because, we're talking about an entire basin
Yeah.
That has been destroyed. Not just one city, it's an entire island, pretty much. And there seems to be that there is no hurry. There's no expeditious effort to make sure that these people have running water, clean running water, that they have electricity restored, and the efforts of bringing in contractors that are going to actually do the work, to bring them in and get these people back to what we would think is a stable life. I just have a huge problem with it. And I don't understand why there is this stall in the administration, because I think, and I'm hoping, that we had put these people in office to do these type of jobs. And at some point, they're going to have to almost like steamroll over some of Trump's non-efforts. That's my whole idea with it. I don't know if anybody else feels the same.
Right. Well, look, okay, I did Google that contract. It's actually a $300 million contract, okay? And the company's from Montana. And, people are stretching their heads over it. I mean, it's called Whitefish Energy Holdings. A $300 million contract for a company that doesn't have that experience. It's definitely tied to the Trump administration. And correct myself, it wasn't the Energy Secretary, it was the Interior Secretary, Ryan Zeke. And the company's financial backers have close ties to the Trump administration. So it was more like a buddy type of thing, to give a two-person organization a contract to do that type of work.
But you know what? And I have to go back, because during his campaigns, Trump made no secrets about politicians being a part of the off-centered type of backdoor dealings. Okay, he made no qualms about saying whatever he wanted to say about this. So when it came to, say, when even Cheney was in office, all right, when he and Bush were in office, now Cheney, his organization, had been a part of supplying military goods or building construction efforts all along in that war. And Trump, he had even made mention of that, about how it was that what you call a buddy system. So what makes it any different from what he's doing now versus what Cheney had done when he and Bush were in office?
Yeah, well, it's the same premise. I mean, it's the same thing, but it just shows that people connected with the administration are going to get rich during these 4 years. And I hope that's all it is, 4 years, because that's where all the business is going to go. Granted, okay, maybe a two-man company can do it, but like the other power companies here in the country are questioning the fact you take a two-man company that's never had the experience. And the reason that a lot of power companies were turning down the contract is because a lot of the work had to be done in the mountainous areas of Puerto Rico, okay? And they didn't want to, spend that type of money, which would be more than what they probably would get to get their equipment into these areas to get the island back fully powered. So you take a two-man company, they got to go down, set up office, hire people, gather equipment, things of that nature. It's not a good look. But the thing about it, you can't investigate it because of the fact the Democrats don't have the majority to push an investigation of what's going on. So
I don't know. I don't understand what is going on right now with Puerto Rico, and it almost seems as if things are being shadowed, or it's being shadowed by so many other things, because I think this is a time where we have never seen so much going on at one time with one commander-in-chief. It's insane to try and figure out how do we concentrate on the efforts of one story,
right,
when there's so much going on. Maybe I don't know. Is it just me?
No, it's the whole world, really. the whole world, other than the deplorables that voted for Trump. It's the whole world. Then we move on to are they looking at Hillary Clinton again? They decided to open up.
What's up with her?
Well, they decided to open up investigations concerning this uranium sale that took place, where I think it might have been about 20% of the uranium that is purchased was purchased by a company in Russia. So they want to look at and figure out how did she allow a Russian company to participate to purchase 20% of our uranium stockpile.
That's a lot.
Yeah, and they want to also look at too the Justice Department's refusal to indict her on her emails. Well, when you look at all this,
come on now, really though, Reggie, are we still on the email thing?
Well, you gotta look at.
Are we still on the email thing? Because we just heard news about Trump and all of his cronies and his family utilizing personal emails to conduct White House business.
Yeah. But it's a diversion.
Really?
It's a diversion. If they can start back picking at Clinton again, then it can divert everyone's attention from the real issue of whether or not Russia had anything to do with the elections. Did they hack into the elections? Did they indeed screw the voting of the elections? Which they did. I mean, because if you look at the issue with Facebook, and look at the number of accounts that Facebook closed down that were linked to Russian companies. And I was listening to a news report, I believe last week it was, that the Trump campaign on occasion was using information from these fake Facebook news sites to use in their campaign to try to kill Clinton's voting, to suppress votes for Hillary Clinton. So there's a lot of stuff that's happening, that's going on, that did take place. I mean, I was reading another post today where someone said that, Congress and Senate should come together and have a new presidential election in 2018, just because so much is coming out now that really points a finger at Russia having a great impact on the election. Now, if you look at, and I'm gonna let you jump back in, and want to make one more point. If you look at the voting pattern, Wisconsin, I believe it was Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania might have been included. There's only like a 78,000 gap in the votes that separated Clinton and Hillary. I mean, right. Hillary and Trump. And if you look at Wisconsin, I believe in Wisconsin, he only won by 10,000 votes. Okay. So you see the math it's just not adding up to where, how all of a sudden, a state that she was supposed to take, he just squeaks it out by 10,000 votes. So I think it's just going to be a long-term thing that they're going to be continuing to digging into the elections and trying to find out what type of impact Russia had on the election.
But then at this point, what do they do? I mean, how does it matter at this point? Because it's not like they can kick him out of there and bring someone else in. Yeah. If that's the case, that he has been proven to have colluded and this is part of his doing, and he is separate or had been taken away from what Russia has done. If he has been separated from that or can be separated from that, then it doesn't matter. Yeah, he's still going to be in office.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. The thing about it, this election will go down in history as an election that was tainted, that Russia had their hand in it. That's just the bottom line of it. And it stinks. It stinks that our votes really didn't count. That's why I'm a very big proponent of getting rid of electoral college. Let the popular vote decide the election. What need is for us to go vote? The only thing that you're gaining when you vote is the fact that the states that you win those electoral college votes. Okay, that guarantees you a path to becoming president of the United States. You can have, just like with Trump, he didn't have the popular vote, but he had enough votes in the electoral college and to win the presidential election. So what does our vote really mean? That's why I say,
Yeah.
you look at how many years ago the Constitution was created. I think at the time, the founding fathers of this country, along with some of the other actions that took place, had the best interest of the country in mind at the time. But now,
well, of course.
It's changed. The world is changing, so some stuff that's antiquated needs to be let go of. They need to let go of it.
Yeah, because I don't know if a lot of people. I'm getting feedback. I'm sorry. But I don't know if a lot of people really do understand the Electoral College vote and how it was actually enacted. But you're right. Right now, this is not when we were the 13 colonies.
Right.
Where they had to even out the score. That's basically what it was about.
Yeah.
But there is no need for the Electoral College vote anymore.
No, it's not. No. But as long as the Republicans are in house, in control, it's going to be here.
Yeah. So I want to talk about the issues that we have right now in listening to all of this back and forth, this controversy that goes along with the soldier that was killed in Niger. What is your overall take about what's going on there?
Well, it's a cover up. Okay, you listen to the different stories that are coming out of Washington concerning this incident. There's someone is covering up what's going on now. My main problem I'm trying to figure out, and I have an issue with, is why was the young man not part of the group that was in the actual fight? Why was he away from his platoon? Why did he be in the location that he was in? By himself. Okay.
Yeah. But the other question I think should be is why didn't most of the Senate, or not most of, but several, quite a few, did not know that this exercise or this mission was actually in place?
Well, I think your boy was trying to have his Osama bin Laden moment, okay? I think that's what it was. They were looking for a warlord of ISIS that was known to be in that area, to frequent that area, okay? And they were looking to capture him, okay? Now, he wasn't there, okay? He wasn't there. And someone in the Niger army, I'm just assuming, had to tip them off about the Americans and the Niger soldiers coming into the area to look for him.
Well, yeah. And see, the thing is, though, Reggie, is that I was listening to, it was either CNN or MSNBC yesterday. Either one, it don't matter. I look at all of them. But I'm understanding that the township, the villagers, are they're sympathizers with ISIS. They have aligned themselves with ISIS. And I think that, and this is only my opinion, and I think that when you talk about villages of that nature who have aligned themselves with these groups like ISIS, it's out of fear. And I believe that that's what they were saying. But that ambush was actually a cohesive effort between the villagers and those who are of ISIS.
Yeah.
So that's how it happened.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this, because I don't understand, why were they there anyway?
Well,
did you hear anything?
They were looking for information concerning this individual, this ISIS leader, and they felt like the father of the community or grandfather of the community or the elder of the community had the information that they needed. But one of the surviving soldiers stated that once they got into the hut where this elder was staying and found that he didn't have any information, they felt like he was trying to stall them from leaving. Okay, I
Okay.
get the type of hemming and hawing around and not really, coming forth with information. So what happened was when they stepped back out to leave, that's when they met all gunfire and grenade launchers and things of that nature. Now, so much time took place. The drone didn't get in place until an hour after this happened to help them with the firefight, to try to find out where these individuals were. And the French Air Force didn't arrive until another hour. So it was like a big gap there. But my thing is, how did Sergeant Johnson fall away from this platoon? And that's my problem. Why was he in one location, they were in another location? Why didn't they continue to look for him? Somebody knew that he was missing, but they
had to have known.
Yeah, it took the Nigerian soldiers. They found his body. Not the Americans didn't find it. Did they know he was missing or what?
Or did they know that he was missing and planned on just leaving him there anyway?
I mean, he was a black brother. Okay, I hate to say. Okay, I'm really, I hate to say that. Okay.
Yeah, it crossed my mind.
Yeah, I mean, they might mistake him for being a Nigerian citizen. Okay, hey, who knows? But they got those. Yeah. But see, it was a contractor's helicopter that picked up the other three bodies. Okay. And got him out of harm, got him out of the area. It wasn't an American helicopter, okay, a U.S. helicopter. It was a contractor helicopter that got him out of the area, got the other three bodies out of the area. So, I think this is another problem. It's a Republican House, a Republican Senate. There's not going to be a strong investigation. There might be an investigation at the Pentagon among the generals and all to try to figure out what happened. But you think Trump really is going to demand that they investigate this to the fullest like they did Benghazi? I don't think that's going to happen. And it's sad that we will never know.
No, I don't. Yeah, I have to agree with that statement. Yeah. I have to agree with that statement. And the reason why is because if it was such secrecy in the fact that he was there or these troops were there, because you're talking about, what did they say, 1,000 troops, 1,000 soldiers are there?
Wow, and it's 6,000 a day. They didn't realize.
Yeah, well, yesterday it was 2.
Mm-hmm.
So 6. So it went from 2 to 6. So 6 today will be 10 tomorrow.
Yeah.
And nobody, I can't say nobody knew, but a lot of these senators, a lot of these politicians didn't even know that this mission was on tap.
Right.
Nonetheless, that it was in full play. They didn't know.
Right.
So why would Trump push forward on an investigation if there was some hidden agenda behind this mission in the first place? Well, what was the agenda of the mission? That's what my question is.
This was his Obama bin Laden moment. Okay, our president Obama had his moment when he got bin Laden. Okay, I meant bin Laden. I don't know why I got the words all screwed up. Excuse me. When I'm so excited, but look, Trump was trying to have his bin Laden moment. Okay, that's what he was trying to do. Okay, this was a top lieutenant of ISIS, and if he had gotten him, it'd have been like, hey, look what I did. Y'all think Obama did something? Look what I did. I got one of the top leaders of ISIS. I told y'all that I was gonna crush him when I came in office. Look what I done. And that's what I think. That's what his mentality was. His mentality is to try to find something that's going to make him look better than Obama. But it backfired on him.
That's not going to happen.
It's not. I mean, he can keep trying. But okay, look. First thing, look. There should have been some kind of intelligence going on in that area that was reliable. Okay. All right. It sounds like they went in blind, based on intelligence from the Nigerian government and soldiers who are partly not really sympathetic to the needs of the Americans, okay, or to this country, okay? Like you said, they have individuals that are scared of ISIS, okay? Just like this village of people. They're scared of ISIS. So their information probably was, hey, look, do us a favor. We want to knock off some Americans Get them in here. Okay.
Yeah.
It was more of a win for them than for us because we don't know how many of them were killed. I'm pretty sure there was some that was killed. You know, there were some that were killed.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it didn't work out like Trump had thought it was going to work out.
Well, I just, like I said, I believe that, it went from 1,000 troops there to 6,000, as you say, today. Tomorrow to be 10,000. And right now we're only looking at, 5 soldiers that had lost their lives this past week. So that number is going to go up. It's going to go up. However, the only way it will not go up and it will not increase is if they continue to hide as they have this mission in the very beginning. They don't want to expound on numbers, especially when those numbers should not have even been there. Mm-hmm. We're not going to find out anything.
Yeah, like Senator Shoemaker said, if you're in a war, you need to allow Congress and the Senate to declare that you're in a war. Okay, allow Congress to declare that you're in a war. That you can't be doing these covert operations without everyone knowing about them. Okay, so it's a mess. But when we look at the widow, and I mean, my condolences go out to her and her family, and really heartbroken and sad over this whole situation, the way it was handled. Congresswoman, she did a great job in bringing things to light. Some people are saying maybe this should have been addressed later on after the funeral, but I think the family and the Congresswoman felt like this was the time to address it because of his phone call and the way the phone call went. I mean, one of Trump's attributes don't include being sympathetic to families, okay? Whether they white or black. He doesn't have a good, he's just not good at it, okay? And first thing, he shouldn't have even called him. He should have had someone else call him, but he fumbled the whole thing. Like she said, he didn't.
Well, you can't. You can't. Yeah, but the thing is, though, is like, he has no filter. Yeah. He has, he doesn't have a tactful bone in his body.
Yeah, he does.
There's nothing about him that says tact whatsoever. Yeah. And I don't think that, I do think that even if he had written a letter, his own letter, his own pen in his own penmanship, he would have screwed that up too.
Well, he probably invisible ink. That's probably the first thing.
But the thing is that, it was this mad rush to get these letters out that he so claimed that had been sent out or had been going out to these fallen soldiers' families.
Okay, here we go again. Let me just jump in real quick. The fool messed up trying to act like Obama again, trying to one-up Obama, okay? Now, his staff gave him wrong information, okay? Now, here he goes trying to get a one-up on Obama again, and it screwed him up, okay? And Congresswoman Wilson, she had every right to come out and blast him. So he takes one line.
Yes, she did. Yeah. Yes, she did. But see, he's making it about that Congresswoman Wilson was trying to stab him in some way, trying to get at him in some way, but it wasn't about that. Yeah. He says that she had no right to be there. And that damn Kelly following along like a damn puppet all of a sudden. I'm sorry, listeners and viewers. See, this is the part where it pisses me off. But they have the nerve, the outright gall. They have the outright gall, though, to say that she had no reason to comment. She had no business on the call. It doesn't matter. She was a family friend. They were on speakerphone in the car. If she happened to so be there, damn it, she's there. And she called it out exactly the way she heard it, whether Trump or Kelly or any other of those puppets in the White House feel about it, that's the way it went. Should she have waited till later? Absolutely not. She's doing it the way that she felt that it should have been done. Why protect this man when he doesn't give two shits about anybody?
Yeah.
Why are you trying to make him good?
Yeah. And the thing about it, she requested that the phone be put on speakerphone, okay? All right. It was her idea to put the phone on speakerphone, okay? So everyone in the car heard what was said. Now the soldiers aren't gonna comment on because that'd be commenting against the boss, okay? But the individuals that didn't have anything to do with the army that were in the car heard what he said. He fumbled, he screwed up royally. So look, why not just say, look, I messed up. Okay, I'm sorry, I apologize, I messed up. He is taking one line and putting on top of another line, putting on top of another line, putting on top of another line, and screwing it up. The lie is getting bigger and it's going out of control. And he can't turn away around from it, okay? And then for the couple down in North Carolina who lost their son in battle, they finally got the check today for $25,000. But look how long the son has been dead. And when Trump said he would send them a personal check for $25,000, Trump does not follow up his promises. He screws everyone that he can get a chance of. He screws them royally. Okay, in my area here where I live, there's a Republican here who has did work on Trump's new hotel, and he ran into a situation with him, and they've known each other for years. And when the work that he was doing on the hotel, he was the only one in the country could do the work. But he got so frustrated that he walked away from it. Where they tried to bring him back in to get the work done, but they want to give him a reduced rate. He said, no, look, I'm the only one in the country can do it. If you want the work done, you have to give me the work, but you got to pay me up front my whole amount. And that's what they did. They paid him, because he'll try to screw you out of your dreams if he can.
Oh, yeah.
And, I was looking at the interview yesterday morning with the widow, Sergeant Johnson, and George Stephanopoulos on ABC. It was a great interview. He did a great job of interviewing her, okay? And someone somewhere had to bring out the truth about what happened with this mission.
Right. Because
there was no reason for him to be away from his platoon. Something, just doesn't add up. I'm sorry. It just doesn't add up. And then
it really doesn't.
You got all these psychopath white media people out here in the country wanting to go off on Congressman Wilson, not understanding why she wears those hats. It's a tribute to her grandmother. That's why she wears those hats. These fools. Oh, excuse me, because I think I got a friend was listening who's a pastor. Pastor Stewart, just forgive me tonight, okay? Listen, I'm getting excited, but they always want to go after a black woman, someone who stands up to Trump administration and says what they got to say. They don't like that. If you look at what's going on, it seems like he's attacking black women more than he's attacking black men.
You're right. You are right. Oh my gosh. Well, while we've got this pause, let me recognize our sponsors. Hot Topics Talk Radio Network and Real World News Radio is sponsored by Shades of Africa in 2 locations, in the city of Corona and in the city of Long Beach. Make sure that when you head on over to their website at Real World News, Lord Jesus. When you head on over to shadesofafrica.com, that's Shades of Africa, AFRIKA.com. Make sure that you send them a note with your order that you are shopping there because of the Hot Topics Talk Radio Network and Real World News. The Hot Topics Talk Radio Network is also sponsored by SPMG Media, and we thank you, Miss Gina Smith, for all that you do to make us continue to be relevant all over the world in print media as well as in social media. And of course, our very own Reggie Kearney, who is the editor-in-chief of Urban Sentinel. So make sure that you go over to our website at hottopicstalkradio.com/sponsors. Find out more about our sponsors. And if you would like to become a sponsor, make sure that you let us know that. You can always send your email to hottopictalkradio@yahoo.com. All right. So I've gotten that out of the way. And I just want to say hi to Chara, because Chara is allowing me to sit in. Reggie's allowing me to sit in with my bad talking self. While Chara is out, she should be back with us next week, but she is in the chat area, and she's sending out her comments to tonight's show as well. So I do want to recognize a few people, Reggie, as we're on air, to let them know that we see them. Miss Lynette Tolson Jewell, we want to say hello to you. Also, Mr. Al Brooks, thank you so much for joining us. And for whoever else is listening in, we thank you, because we couldn't do this without your support. And also Malcolm. Good to see you also, Malcolm, always. Malcolm used to always join us when we were with Blog Talk Radio. He would always give us a call and share in some of our broadcasts. So I just want to say thank you to him and to whomever else is listening in or looking in and just not sharing their comments. What else? Oh, but I do want to say once again, I thank you, Reggie, Chara, Roland D., Richard Hall, Chris Smith, for you guys' support of what we do here. Because last week was 7 years. We made 7 years under the Hot Topics Talk Radio Network. So I just want to say thank you to those who have continued to support the efforts of all of our shows here under the Hot Topics Talk Radio Network. All right.
Let me send a shout out to Rose, Kenneth, and Brandon who are watching. I appreciate you guys, watching tonight. And tell your friends about us. We're going to try to make this a weekly thing. We've been doing it every 2 weeks. And, I just feel it's a need for us to do it every week because of how the news changes. Now, Lynette had posted on Facebook earlier about Sergeant Johnson's body. Okay, and that's another issue of concern. The wife wasn't allowed to view the body, regardless of if he wanted to view the body. And then the general came on this morning. It was on ABC News this morning. The general said she had every right to view the body if that's what she wanted. And so some underlings below determined that she couldn't view the body. If I was her, and I hate to say this, I would have the body just to check and make sure that he's in there. Okay? Because we just don't know the circumstances of what's going on with this whole situation. Okay?
Right.
And so, there are a lot of things, a lot of questions that need to be answered. Okay? And we need to get those answers. But like I said, with the current makeup of the Congress and the Senate, we might not never get those answers. Because like I said again earlier, they're running after Hillary again. Okay, they're definitely doing that. Okay. Yeah. So how long has Hoover been dead? FBI Director Hoover. How long has he been dead? Long time, hasn't it?
What is it? Probably. How old am I? How old are you, Reggie? Then I can tell. What is it, 30 years?
Probably a little more, probably between 30 and 40 years. Now,
30, 40 years?
Yeah, so we've had some good FBI directors come along since then. Now, with this current White House and Jeff Sessions as Attorney General, they decided that it's time to, again, watch quote-unquote black extremist groups, okay? So I guess our show falls under the heading of being a black extremist show.
Yay!
Criticizing, thank you, Rose, I'm 21. We criticizing the Trump administration, so I guess that puts us in the group of black extremists, okay? They're going to start watching us, okay? See what we're doing.
Right.
So now,
you know what? And that's fine with me. That's fine. Come on. Watch all you want to. Listen in. Tap in if you want to. Because I'm going to tell you the truth no matter what. Now, will I go to jail? Probably. Tap in if you want. Then you see what the people really think.
Yeah. There you go. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not that far from Washington. I'm about 25 miles from D.C. and they'll probably come tapping on my door one night saying they need to arrest me for being a black extremist. Okay. Wait, let me hold it. Lynette, I'm just 60, okay? I'm not over 60. But look, I love this show, love having the fun. But it's sad that the FBI wants to concentrate on, groups like Black Lives Matter and other organizations that are trying to protect the rights of African Americans in this country and the rights of other people. Okay, now we had the civil rights movement. Hoover spent time trying to infiltrate that, creating fake letters that he sent to Dr. King's wife, things of that nature. Always making disparaging remarks about Dr. King and other people in the movement. And now, sadly, that same crap is happening again now because they're concerned with groups like Black Lives Matter and other groups that are pushing the agenda to make sure that we're trying to hold the government accountable for their actions. Okay. Now, why are they going to these white supremacist groups? What's that jerk named Spencer, whatever his name is, and his little imps that are running around this country, spreading hate and causing riots and things of that nature, as they did in Charlottesville. Okay, they should be looking at white extremist groups instead of worrying about what black people are doing. We've been fighting and fighting and fighting since the end of slavery to get our rights, and we're going to continue to fight and do what we have to do to get those rights. So they have to stop this mess that's going on. Don't they have other things to do? They need to find out. They got other issues that they need to be involved with instead of watching a group of young African American young people that are trying to make things right in this country. Following them around. But
that's the whole thing. Yeah, but that's the whole thing, though, Reg. They don't want us to make it right. They don't. I mean, you spoke of Hoover earlier. Mm-hmm. That was his whole agenda. Yeah, was to tear down the efforts of the civil rights movement. Yeah, that was his whole agenda. And this with Red Lobster, Trump, whatever you want to call him. Yeah, and as long as we have the FBI under the direction, unfortunately, and it shouldn't even be that way, but they are under the direction of the Trump administration. As long as he's in office, that's the way it's going to be. Yeah, that's just the way it's going to be. Mm-hmm. It's no different. It's really no different. But you would think. I think the part that really hurts a lot of people is that we think that we've come so far, but unfortunately we haven't. And this slogan, "Make America Great Again," is just the moniker that says great again to what? Mm-hmm. Is it great again to be back in the era where blacks did not count? Did we not have the right to vote? Did we not have the right to ride on a bus in the front seat opposed to the back seat? Mm-hmm. It's the same thing. It's the same exact thing. That's why you've got this FBI faction who is going after blacks. It's not that they want to even consider us an extremist group. They could care less what we're called. Mm-hmm. We are still niggas at the end of the day. Period. Period.
Right. Yes, I agree with that. Because and sometimes I sit back and wonder. Being a child of the '60s and '70s when the Black Panther Party was around, I wonder how America would react now if the Black Panther Party was still around. Because a lot of people don't know the history of the Black Panther Party. They were a group of men and women that were trying to bring. All they were trying to do is take care of the neighborhoods. Okay, they had breakfast programs, they had food drives, they had after-school programs and things of that nature, and they were trying to protect the community from the onslaught of the Klan and other white idiots that were trying to destroy Black Americans. Okay, the thing about it, let's look at the gun laws didn't come into effect until the late 60s, and they
Right.
came about as a way to control guns and keep guns out of hands of groups like the Black Panthers, okay? That's why the gun laws came around, okay? They were trying to keep the guns out of our hands, okay? Then after they were able to get rid of the Black Panther Party, then the NRA got in, and then they started talking about the right to bear arms and all this kind of mess, okay? Man, I thought sometimes I might start a militia called the Kearney militia, okay? Now, I wonder how white society would feel about a militia called the Kearney militia, okay? You know, if we were walking around, if I was walking around with a group of my brothers, we carrying guns and stuff, which we can legally do out in public, you know, how would they feel? They would be scared as heck, okay? They would be scared of a group of black men with guns.
I could say it, Reggie.
Okay,
scared as hell.
Okay, thank you. they would be scared, okay, of a group of black men carrying guns. But nothing is never said. They never say anything about white men walking around with their little militias. Just like the group out in what was it, North Dakota, South Dakota, Montana, Wyoming, I think it was Wyoming, that tried to take over the federal property, federal land.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Those guys never they went to court, found innocent, all that kind of stuff. Now let my group get arrested and go to court. We'd be in prison till the day we die. Okay, you know. So it's just
prison or dead.
Yeah, it's just a double standard here in America, you know. And I think they've tried to suppress it for so long that I mean, half of us we probably scared to pick up a gun and walk down the street to protect ourselves. You know, but this is what we got to have an awakening here in America. Okay, you know.
We do.
We were able to come through integration and get things that we had never had while we were saved. Okay, we can eat anywhere in there, we can go to school anywhere in there, we can sleep anywhere in there, we can do anything we want to do.
Yeah.
Okay, but we have forgotten about the struggle. Okay, and it's going to come a time that we need to pick up and run with the struggle again. You know, I applaud these young people that are out here trying to make a difference. Okay, I want the young people to take up the mantle and run with it and do what they got to do. Okay. You know, because if we don't do that, then we're going to lose out here in America, okay? And we have to fight every day to make sure that people like Trump are kept in their place so they won't try to put us in our place.
I have to agree with you. I have to agree with you. At this time, I do want to, Reggie, I want to just give a couple more shout outs. So far, Raynard Gage has joined us tonight, and he's listening in. So I want to say, hey, Ray. Ray is of Truth Brothers Radio. So I just want to say hello to him and also to Devon, his other half of, I was going to say something else. That's why I hate being on camera, because I don't work from a script.
And then I want to say a shout out to my niece, Tiffany Swan is watching, a good friend of mine, Pamela Smith Moore is watching. You know, so again, we want to thank everyone for tuning in to us, and we're asking that you to tell your friends about us also, you know, because we want to take this thing nationally. You know, we want to blow up nationally, and maybe one day, and a friend of mine is Jim Blackman is looking at us too. I want us to blow up. And, you know, one day we might be on TV One on any given morning, any given night. You know, we're gonna tell it like it is, okay? You know,
that's you know what I keep saying. Watch out, Kathy Hughes. You don't know me.
Yeah,
you don't know me, Kathy Hughes.
we really, I mean, we really got to look at the agenda of Black America and make sure that we will be making a difference, that we should, and we will be making a difference in years to come, okay? And we got to do that, okay? I mean, we really, really got to push it, you know, because Jeff Sessions he's hell bent on changing some things and changing some laws that don't need to be changed, okay? And we really got to fight, you know, and I want to tell our listeners to, you know, wherever you may be at, get your friends and help your friends register to vote, okay? Focus on these elections, your local elections, state elections, and national elections, but more of your local and state elections, to try to take back control of these states that are going Republican crazy. Okay. When you look at North Carolina, when you look at Mississippi and Alabama, especially North Carolina. North Carolina is the breeding ground and the lab for Republicans to push the agenda that they want to push nationwide. Okay, and we have to have a real concern about that. And we can't go to sleep every night thinking that that we're in a better place, because we're not. I mean, North Carolina, they have done some damage in North Carolina. They're always changing the laws to benefit them. Okay. And we have to be mindful of that. So make sure that you're getting your friends registered, your relatives registered to vote, and make sure to get you to polls for next year's midterm elections. Because if we can take back Congress and gain control of Congress and the Senate, we will be able to make a difference. Okay, and we have to we have to make a nationwide drive to do that. So.
Yeah. And that's where I task, the people that follow us. I task people all the time. Get out there, be a part of your community, start, making some noise, and it doesn't mean that you have to get out there and you have to, hold these violent protests and you got to go to jail and all that. But just make yourself present. Make yourself present in some of these city council meetings, which are open to the public. Get out there and do the work. Start going to some of the colleges and to the schools and start finding out, what enactments they have that have to do with local politics. That's all you have to do. Start being involved in your children's school to find out how some of the laws that are in place affect your children and their education. There's so many different ways that we can get involved, but we have to make a concerted effort to want to make that change. We can sit here and we can talk about it. We can, grumble about it and bitch, moan, and complain. But if you don't become part of trying to fix whatever is broken, then you have no right to complain. That's all I have to say about that part.
And we have Reverend Barber out there doing a great job here in the country, doing a great job to keep, us on our toes, to raise awareness of what's going on around us. And we need to be out there fighting with him, supporting him.
Right.
In the job that he's doing. Okay. Just like Al Bruce is saying, some people really avoid truth because action takes effort. We've got action. Okay. We can't, it bothers me that we have become a complacent people. It bothers me, and one of my buddies in North Carolina, Jim Blackner, he lives in Franklin County, where I grew up in North Carolina. He's even saying, from his message, I'm getting the, hey, why can't the people, why can't the people come together? We got to come. We so complain just because we can sit down in a restaurant with white folks now. We feel like we got it made. That's what bothers me.
But see, that's the whole complacency.
Yeah,
complacency.
Yeah.
You should never be satisfied with the thought that when you walk out your door, a police officer might whip your ass for the night. You should never be that complacent. You should never be that complacent when you go to the voting polls every, whether it's the primary or whether it's the, the national. You should never feel so complacent that you think, oh, well, my vote is going to count as long as they still have the Electoral College vote enact. So you should never be complacent. And I don't understand why we as a people who have worked so hard and we've lost ancestors, people in our own families during the civil rights. I don't understand how all of a sudden that doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter anymore. Well, I can't stand lazy folks. I just can't. Well, and that's what this is.
Well, when you can go in there and buy a Bentley or Rolls Royce and, you feel like you come, okay? Look, I'm not getting down on nobody who makes money, okay? Make all the money you can. We live in a capitalist society, okay? But if you have the power, and I give my props to LeBron James, if you have the power to make a difference, use that platform. Don't be scared of some ticket sales or some music sales or some clothing sales or whatever you're selling that you're gonna lose sales. Use your platform. Okay, I mean, my platform here. Okay, you know, hopefully one day we'll reach the world. Okay, we don't know, but I'll take the 120, 200 people viewing us tonight. You know, and hope that those people can carry it on. Okay, but you got to use your platform. Okay, and I'm
Reggie, and see,
move on. You know,
I'm sorry. Yeah. And the good thing is that we do reach other countries. That's a great thing. And to date, you know, we still have about 10,000. Well, now we have to call them viewers. But before we left Blog Talk, we were at 10,000 listeners per month. And that is a combined of all of the shows, which is a great thing. But we can do so much more. We can do so much more. And that's why I'm so grateful to have each one of you for this platform, because it makes a difference. Just like the people that are sitting here tonight, they're going to share, and I'm putting you guys to task. Let me put look in the microphone. I'm putting you to task. You better share the show. Okay, so, but I'm putting everybody to task. Share this show. Don't be afraid to invite people that you know that want to hear the truth, because that's what this is. Now, whether or not we have someone on here that comes and they disagree, that's great too. But at least it is an opening for a conversation. That is what we want. Yeah. That's exactly what we need.
That dialogue, you know, and we got to be about the business. I mean, we got to be about the business. You know, things are going to get better for us during the next 3 years. I mean, have we gotten to 6 months yet? Yeah, we got a little past 6 months. Look at what has happened in the administration in less than 9 months. Okay.
I know.
Gosh, you think he's been in office for 4 years almost? You know?
Yeah.
Very pathetic, you know. So we've got to really concentrate on making a difference. And I'm gonna do my little bit. I don't know how much I'm gonna be able to do, but I'm gonna do my little bit. I'm hoping that my little bit will help. You know,
your little bit counts, Reginald.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. You know what? We've already come to the end.
Yeah.
It seemed like it flew by. It did fly by.
Yes, it did.
Oh my gosh. But I'm still trying to talk you into doing weekly. Are we there yet?
We here. We'll be back next Tuesday night.
Yes. Sounds good to me. So again, Reggie and I and Chara and Tappin, who is not here, I'm sitting in for her tonight. We do want to thank everyone who has viewed us tonight, has sat in and been a part of the broadcast and shared your comments, your thoughts, even said hellos. We really appreciate that. And we really want you to share this broadcast. It's important. It's really, really important. Because without this conversation, then we're going to be at that stalemate. There's nowhere for us to grow. And I think that the people that are listening in tonight, looking in, being a part of this show, I think that with them doing that, that's the effort of growth. That's the effort of change. So I just want to say that. And that comes from me, just from me.
Like I said, I appreciate all you do, Toni. You the boss. And,
I am no boss.
Yeah.
I am no boss. You guys allow me to sit in.
Yeah. And we appreciate everything you do. And like I said, I appreciate the listeners tonight. Please get the word out about this great show, Real World News Radio, talk show, Facebook Live. You know, we're trying to do it, trying to make it happen, trying to make a change. That's all I got.
Right. That's all you got?
That's all I got. Right. We gotta go.
So we're gonna get out of here, y'all. And again, like Reggie said, we really thank you, and we do look forward to you sharing these shows with your Facebook friends. All you got to do is just come on over to the Real World News Radio Facebook page, because this is where they'll be every week from now on. That's what I'm hearing.
And tell them I'll follow. Tell their friends go to YouTube. They can view the old shows, okay?
Yes. Yes. So we really do appreciate you. We're going to go ahead and get out of here. And next week, you can come on back under Real World News Radio under Facebook. And you will find Chara Tappin and the very handsome Mr. Reggie Kearney. So I really want to thank you once again. If you have show ideas or if you want to be a part of the broadcast, there's room for you. And if you want to be a guest, make sure that you send us an email. You can do that by going to the website at hottopicstalkradio.com, or you can send an email to hottopicstalkradio@yahoo.com. Once again, I do want to say thank you to our sponsors, Shades of Africa, in 2 locations in the city of Corona and in the city of Long Beach. Also, thank you to Miss Gina Smith, SPMG Media, for making sure that we continue to be relative in the news, that's print news, as well as all over social media. And thank you, Mr. Reggie Kearney, for all of your efforts and hard work that you put into Urban Sentinel. That is where the real news is. So you guys got to check him out. Go to urbansentinel.com. He's got some great stuff on that site. So if you haven't visited that website, you're missing out. So that's urbansentinel.com. Editor-in-Chief, Mr. Reggie Kearney. Thanks, everybody, for being here. We're going to bid you a good night. Tomorrow night, you can join me. Yes, me and Roland D. I get to talk bad tomorrow. Yeah. Oh my God. Roland D and I will be on air tomorrow night, starting at 8 o'clock p.m. Pacific, 10 o'clock Central, and 11 o'clock on the East Coast. Tomorrow night, Roland D, we're going to be talking about, are you able to grow with your mate? That is the question. So that's tomorrow night on Hot Topics Talk Radio. So head on over to Facebook for the live show under Hot Topics Talk Radio with me, Toni Breedlove, and Roland D. And then on Thursday night, you got to hit up Man to Man Radio with Richard Hall and Chris Smith. Once again, thank you so much for being a part of tonight's broadcast here on Facebook under Real World News Radio. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.